the assassin.
Ah.
Yeah.
For every minute that Josh doesn't read the recap, I will post a report.
Wait.
An excellent start to the game.
Are you streaming? No! Not again!
It's not purple yet.
Yeah, it doesn't say it on Discord.
Oh my fucking god. Thank you, Discord. Your minor delays have performed excellently. Last time on Festering Facts, after traversing the desert and having a new goblin pump wagon at their disposal, finally traveled the arid lands and avoided the pit for the time being, made very quick measure across the salt lands towards the plateau. As the party arrived there, the weather getting colder, was more aptly timed to be heading towards the inner plateau, as it seemed to be getting warmer, as you saw that there was a large goblin town just outside. After debating on what to do for a brief time, Harbinger had animated some of the goblins and gained some of the information that was required before heading into the mainstay of Goblin Town, where you had seen an opening in the plateau, but also the mainstay issue of how would you even begin to traverse or climb this area. After finding out about the blue one, known as Shavron Kull, assumedly a dragon, no evidence to give the contrary yet, but upon the approach, he had seen that there's been a goblin town there for some time that had also been destroyed when the blue one was not appeased by offerings. Seeing an offering area with a large chest as well as a few other sums of gold and items left out, was resisted the urge to go over to Temptation and immediately start collecting some of that, and followed the goblins into the section where many of the goblins for their pump wagons had collected various packs of wood and other pieces, and able to park many of the other pump wagons nearby. After traversing deeper in, after witnessing the Harbingers of Zymun gut some of the other goblins within, you would start to proceed in, to which, unfortunately, due to attempted stealth, the alarm was immediately raised, to which you had seen a goblin, curiously with some odd kind of bell clapper on the bottom of the bell. After it was rung, immediately produced a dust devil as well. After that...
Bye, Jesse.
Oh.
It's probably just clownfish.
He's dead!
I'll be back.
After dealing with the wealth of goblins at the front, as well as seeing the various bone piles and proceeding further, there was a point where one of the goblins had stepped on a softer patch of ground, and after immediately cracked, was immediately sucked down into, well, what you assume was a sinkhole, though not entirely sure. And at that point it was irrecoverable. Heading further south in the tunnel, you had bore witness to what seemed to be a small red pseudo-dragon or red drake. You were not entirely sure. But after the goblins had pretended to bring Harbinger's Echo up as a body, quickly tried to retaliate after it was attemptedly grappled and assaulted, almost dead, fled down the tunnel, awaking those goblins that were still asleep to full alert. Everyone immediately charged down the line and saw the odd goblin, one who seemed to be deeper skin toned than the others, touched by the Shadow Fae, even having curiously enough, a ring, much to like the laurel and ring that Elaine. Elaine has the ring, where Harbinger has the laurel. After finding out that they have kept in touch for a brief time after a quick combat, that they had spent some time here, studied some of the upper and lower floors, and even mentioned that there were a few other Sealy here. God damn. You had found out that there had been quite a few people going up and down, and that there was still allies from the Shadow Fae here. After getting a few bit more pieces of information, finding out that the city here is ruled by the Blue One and watched over quite thoroughly, you decide to probe deeper into this cavern, as well as what is known as Goblin Town, to look for another person that could be of help, known as Chagrin. After traversing one of the lower sections, you run into a curious enough ogre-pede. Quickly dispatched that creature and the small goblin on its back, and proceeded further south. After more goblins had assailed you once more, you pushed on even further, found the next batch of goblins that were sleeping even further along with the ogre-pede, as well as where the small red drake had gone, as a small stash of gold as well. After that, you were coming around the corner, saw that a regiment was being trained, and immediately fireballed them, saw that there was, curiously enough, a gemstone resting on the wall, and immediately sacrificed an axe beak by mistake to it, and watching it sink down into the pit like the Terminator slow. After dispatching the hobgoblin captain that was there and trying to train some of the goblins to be more regimed, you had finally found the small hovel hidden down here with some of the heavier trade that was going on from the caravans going up Chagrin. He had a few badges and patches for some of you to wear, clearly in trade with the Unseelie, but also dependent of whether or not could be fully trusted, but seemed to have happier tidings in dealing with you for selling a few badges here and there, and then trying to, push off some of his other goods that hadn't sold in a while, and maybe even other weapons. After attempted to sell some of these and getting at least the badges out and a few other things, warned you of the guard that would be leading up to the upper floors of Chevron Cole's city, and that the badges should get you only so far, but to be careful around some of them. Not all are immediately going to be dissuaded from these patches being used. After about to push on, Harbinger unfortunately got siphoned straight down into a sand trap. Took a little bit of time, but thankfully, since he doesn't have to breathe, was able to escape his earthy tomb. After pushing on even more, seeing that there was another spot where the sand had sunk down, was moving around in cursory to avoid the area as well as some of the sand. Unfortunately, stepping onto an area where there was a resting dust devil that became angry and immediately assaulted you. A earth myrmidon came around the corner, taken sight of you, took the dodge action, was immediately firebolted, but then also pursued into combat. A brief spat between the party and it was committed, and after some heavy damage was done to each other, it finally had fallen, even though it showed that the badges would work, and was still insistent on trying to knock down Harbinger, and mostly on the aggression area. We're finally able to take it down, and finally have an area to pass by to where there used to be a water basin, as far as you could tell, and head up these old stairs that were hidden within the plateau. As you head up these stairs, going all the way up to the inner city, you'd seen that they had spread out quite significantly, and came to notice at the top of the plateau a magnificent city that no one even knew was hidden within here. And considering the description that Merc and Chagrin had given you, as far as you know, this might be the first floor, as what they were describing, meaning there's 2 more, and even not as knowledgeable as they were assumedly being. Merc did mention 3, but beyond that, you're not sure. So at this point, as you're able to kind of take everything in, you could see the mix of goblins, even though the tokens aren't there to market, 1 or 2 elves marking around, and then a fair amount of hobgoblins as well as ogres. Let me correct your visual. That's right, because I pulled these from the other page.
Oh yeah, this is.
It's quite dark.
Hold on. I'm correcting your vision because I pulled it immediately from the other and not your copied tokens where you have 300.
I think I have the correct amount of dark vision as I can. Those might just be the torches.
Yeah,
It's
there's
a lot of
actual torches.
it's a lot of hobby gobbies over there.
Yeah, I can see that. So rip and tear, right?
I don't know. I think there might actually be too many to rip and tear.
Oh,
That's
so
a lot
like
of
all
gold.
the-
So can you like hide in the shadows and have your echo do everything?
No, last time I tried that, I had disadvantage still.
Oh yeah, but you make like a dex arch for and you use echo next.
I mean, that would be very funny.
Get Gloomstalker,
Feel like-
you have infinite advantage while invisible.
Yeah. And then you get sharpshooter, so that way you can go like 600 feet up with your echo while, occupying it. And
Set
just shoot everything.
orbital bombardment.
No!
So the police.
Somebody call the police. We have a fucking attack helicopter.
Upon it.
Hey, let's walk in with our weapons stowed and see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk up, go right next to these guards, and just pull out that badge. And be like, eh?
You can see that they do pivot for a moment, but immediately take note that you do have the badges with you, and immediately stay their arms.
Oh, good.
On Frog Steel, why aren't you at full health?
Sorry, this was only 6 seconds after the last session.
It's true.
I'll stop.
Apologies, fellas.
You do hear what sounds like whistling winds coming up from the fissure that you assume across the way. A large crack that has severed down the wall in a huge gaping hole that opens up into a massive crevice going straight down into blackness as far as you can tell. Seems that gargoyles have been purposely posted up around this circle, curiously enough, leaving concern as to what has come out of there before. The smell that seems to waft from that cavernous fissure that seems to have almost a brimstone-esque scent to it. Though it's extraordinarily heavy, it also leads to a great concern of how far down that goes, as well as what might come out, or clearly has probably come out of it, since they have guards posted up purposely around it. Going towards the center, you could see sconces that have eternal flame cast on every single one. Going down the entirety of the lane, what seems to be a water basin towards the center, and 2 sections of the point of the main row. Many of the sections on your left and right seem to be various shops, or what count as shops, as well as a little further up the way, a small outcropping in the main row that seems to have smatterings of blood that have been pasted across the causeway, and have purposely a small fortification built up around a much larger looking ogre with a very menacing looking horn, a pure white alabaster kind of horn that's been embedded into the front of his face. It has a small thrum of magic, as well as a magnificent statue of what seems to be marble or granite that has a soft pulse of arcane energy around it constantly. As far as you can tell from the distance here, it looks like it has one unifying horn at the front of its crest, as well as it's holding a great sword in the offhand, and as well as a staff matching the size of the dragon statue in the other hand. Also, this would be the main big guy you see down the lane.
Oh, okay, it was that dude. I can
Or
only
a
see him
unicorn.
narrowly through a pillar.
Unicorn. Just gonna look towards this golem thing. Can you speak Common, Draconic, Elvish, Undercommon? I will say all in those languages.
It will respond to you in Draconic.
Oh.
Yes. You need guidance.
We're here to see the king.
Not till the pit of adequacy is complete. Announcements will be made at the pedestal. Slowly points up towards the north end of this cavernous town.
Do you see a big purple glowy thing?
A statue honoring the master.
The blue one,
The blue
as I've heard
one.
it refer.
Yes. You can tell that even though it does respond, it's still speaking slow, more or less, due to the fact of it being an earth elemental. You know full well that a good portion of earth elementals still respond very slowly, almost like talking to a tree. There's never a sense of earnest until immediate danger or action is needed. Looking at the left side lane that you're closest to still right now. Looks like a small amount of shops, little more busied. Some that look like maybe homes or dens for many of these miscreants or creatures. Though you do see what looks like kind of like an inn. Seem to be proprieted by kobolds.
Well, it is actually kind of nice, you know. They have a little bit of society down here.
Strange that this would be unnoticed for so long.
Well, it is in the middle of a desert.
Guess they must be quite self-sufficient. They don't need any assistance from other towns.
I wonder why they choose to live here of all places.
Not food time.
What?
Right.
Smacks the back of Harbinger. You okay?
That's what.
You made a weird noise.
Oh,
Back to menu.
I was saying no food time to the cat.
Did the cat understand?
No, that's why he still wants the food.
What is a pit of eminence?
No, back. What are we talking about this?
Harbinger talking to ghosts.
Yeah.
Should have left him with Knee Street.
Dumbass. Not on the computer.
The pit of adequacy is those permitted to the next level.
You said it's closed off.
Yes. There are trials being held.
Oh, well. Can you direct us to whoever's in charge of said trials?
The one in the main lane. His temper is inconsolable. As he points up, going on the left side, the registry by Puck Dukes.
Pot Dukes. Well. Sounds like our plan is simple, everyone. Let's talk to this person about maybe doing one of these trials. Or finding a place to rest first.
Are you sure they're not going to be like, "You're not goblins," and then kill us?
Cromsty, I think any of us can see that.
You do
That
see
doesn't answer my question.
You do see a
Okay,
few
here's
elves
a
sparsed
goblin.
around.
I'm just.
I
I'm
believe
just
the
saying.
shopkeeper said that the bottom floors were mostly goblin kind, and then further up it becomes more civilized.
Sure.
Judging by their system, I think a lot of kinds of people would come through this floor.
You do.
What is that? Oh, he's got like a palanquin on his back.
You do see close to the aquifer an ogre who seems to be like partial ramparts built onto his armor. 4 goblins that are hanging out on top and looking around and swearing down at some of the hobgoblins as they kind of make a racket towards the waterway.
You can see so far.
This room be half a mile long.
Oh my god, it's moving.
How many quartz can fit in here?
You know you love it, Jester.
Oh,
How many quartz can fit in a human eye?
no, a dust of dryness.
It floods the lower level.
No, not again!
I think he meant that one all the way over there, and I'll point to the unicorn guy.
I spy some blood in front of him.
We're on the right track.
Hmm.
Blood is always a good indicator.
Look, I think we'll be fine as long as we don't mention our little accident at the entrance.
That wasn't an accident.
Yes.
DM, now that we're in the open, how's the public reaction to seeing us?
You do see a few people kind of eyeing you. Let's see. I think the top passive perception is a 21 question mark? If I recall.
I don't think we've got anything that high.
I think it's Leoris who's got the highest.
Isn't it like 17?
18.
I was gonna say mine's not that high.
But you can see there's a few people already sizing you up. You can see a few ogres kind of licking their lips, looking at Rylax, not understanding that she's not made of, fucking sugar.
Look, a snack!
I'd burn going down.
Everything good does.
But you come out fighting.
You do take notice that quite a few kind of give a little hardcore side eye towards Leoris. You've seen elves, but you don't see any drow to speak of here.
We've seen elves.
Yes.
Oh,
And Leoris and I have vanished. No drow to speak of.
This room is lit by a special light that only makes it so you can't see drow.
This
wow.
room is lit.
This room is racist.
This room is shut.
Room of no gay.
Pretty much. Moving through, you can see that the inn with a curious sign is the Resting Drake. What looks like a small curled up dragon sleeping on a pile of gold has been painted on the wall. The sign looks like it was there and then torn off. then strapped back up again, from what you can tell from a few lingots, and then torn off again.
Ah. The hazards of moving.
Folding into each other.
You're right, we should move in turn order. Take the
I
whole
will.
session to cross this room.
Roll
Ooh,
initiative
what
for
is
your
that?
RP walk.
That would be...
Is it a gecko? Beta dragon?
Go ahead and roll me nature as you look at this. Almost crocodile-esque, has a long back fin, heavy green scales,
It's very grumpy.
walking around on 4 legs with a long tail to match, and heavy claws. They look like he'd rip through a good portion of armor. You're not sure. You think it might be... It could be like just a regular giant lizard, but it looks a lot more feral.
It's just a big lizard.
As you pass by, you can see that some of the goblins are throwing water down at you, as they have a whole bunch of buckets on the back of this big ogre. He's just kind of...
Throwing water at us.
It's not water.
What the fuck? That's it.
Hans
It's the Luca.
gets a $1 waffle.
As you get close up to here, you can see the massive ogre who's sitting there and just kind of relishing his own little space here. That's filled with, curiously, sand, probably to make it softer where he's sitting.
He's got a sand pit.
Yeah, he's got a sand pit with a big old bedroll covered in furs.
It's fucking Mega Mind over here. Also, I think he meant this guy.
You do see this man who seems to be talking to a small stone shack, curiously made,
Ew.
and inquiring about some alchemical properties. As far as you can tell, the verb here is pretty easily heard. As well as you can see on the right, as you hear anguished cries of pain and the crack of whips. Ogres that seem to be torturing people who have been captured or put into the stockades. You see a few goblins and others that have been watching the show and attempting to take bets to see who would pass out first. You see a few that did pass out. One of the hobgoblins will slap down a small pouch of gold. As you see the ogre just kind of chuckle for a moment, pulls out what looks like a more heavily kind of bladed sickle that's rusted, and then start carving off the calf of the person, and then hand it down to the hobgoblin as if it was a meat market / prison at the same time.
I get the feeling this is the man we're looking for. 'Cause the god did say it was on the left path.
You do see, looking up the lane, very fat, happy looking ogre with a wide, very clean smile. Fine leathers, as well as a few things that have been embellished with gold, a full necklace that seems to have gold bells, as well as a bracelet made of amulets, question mark, as well as a ring that looks like somebody's crown previously. You look around for stairs. It looks like many of the people here have either clambered up or down, just back and forth, or have had the full trek north and then back again.
Do we go back then?
I think that's him. And he looks probably more amiable than
You know
this.
what? I don't want to talk to that one.
How tall are these like lips?
Only 5 feet.
I can climb that.
As far as you can tell, especially for how dirty some of the lips are, it's very common practice to just climb up and down some of the lips of the city.
Yeah. Imagine your mates are playing a card game 40 feet away and you're like, oh hang on, let me just
I'll point out this guy and say, I think that's the one we're looking for.
well.
At the same time as you do get closer in the left lane district, you start to hear what sounds like the ringing of forge work. You can see a large gout of smoke that seems to be emanating not too far from behind this curiously and overly well-dressed ogre with the pristine smile. Piggyback with my helmet horns. As you do start climbing up, which is easily done enough, the ogre that's lounging in his sandbox seems to just kind of hold out one hand, and you can see one of the other ogres quickly hand him like a haunch of meat, and then the other one pulls out like a jug of beer. Just, lets him keep lounging. You could tell those are kind of like his small cronies.
Those babysitters.
Pretty much. And judging by the smattering of blood and the haunch that they just pulled out, it's probably the last person to try and talk to him that he's cooked up.
Our detective skills are amazing.
Incredible.
Oh, there's another one. This one looks taller.
As you do pass by some of these stone obelisks, you can tell much of the carvings here are not that of many of the races that you usually see in the outside world. This one seems more forgotten. Like it's been here for quite some time and that they just kind of adopted everything to their own use here. So you pass up here, you see the stone myrmidons. Just keep it attention. You could tell that they've been purposely posted up here, probably due to the fact that there's very clearly forge works going on.
Wait for my buddies to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
It's making a meme with the chat.
Good meme.
Lift, squish, lift, squish.
This place was built to be a monument to as stairless as you could make a building.
God damn right. Only they were tall enough to use it without the stairs.
Unless you're 12 feet tall, we don't want you using this hallway.
So,
Greetings.
so as you approach this pungent man who still has a oddly cleanly smile, you can see that he has a small wing that has goblins hustling back and forth and organizing things as he smiles at you with a very wide, toothy grin. What can I do for you? Have you come out of interest for the rare smiths, or are you just gathering supplies before going back to Lorenthos?
Looking for someone named Dukes. Is that you?
Yes. I'm Dukes. Put up your Dukes goods.
Oh, Dukes. Sorry. One of the guards told us that you're in charge of the trials?
Oh, you're going to try for the adequacy trial. See if you're worthy of at least teaching and you're not going to be a waste of breath for the master.
I mean, if that is the way to get closer to him, then yes. That's why we're here.
Well, I'll gladly take your ledger signer, but it's 10 gold entry fee. Understandably, the master doesn't come down for anyone, as long as they give a small token of appreciation and respect, and he will gladly come to assess them.
I'll pay him 50 gold.
He will very happily take out the ledger to sit down, and you can see what looks like you would consider it like a contract, but more of a legality where if you die here, there is no responsibility of the party here after.
Classic.
Called like a liability thing.
It's a good old waiver.
Yeah, that's the one.
So, obviously, allows you to have all of you sign.
Sure.
Of course.
I must say, you are the curious group out. Usually it's unseelie or others that we see with darker skin or unique features. Pogdukes.
Wait, I missed that. Was he talking shit about Odrell?
Talking shit about all of you being so unique looking.
We're in the middle of a desert full of goblins, and it's like there's a weird hodgepodge of people just show up.
Hey, this ain't anything new. Normal people tell us this.
It's true.
He could be normal.
Well, yes, we get a lot of comments on our uniqueness.
Well, I surmise you have a better chance than any others. I think I might take a bet on you. I like rare things.
You like rare things?
Indeed, I'm sure you could tell as he kind of like jingles a little bit of the bling he has as well as the gold bell necklace. I am the proprietor of the Thirst Forge back here as well. Tell me, do you ever have the pleasure of seeing giants or what they work on?
Well,
No.
actually, we saw a lot of dead giants one time.
Yes, there's not many left, but I still managed to get some of them under my paw. There's only 3 here, but they still do excellent crafts. I might be inclined to help out your equipment. Of course, that would be in some eyes if you took on the champion, if you feel hardy enough.
We did already spend a lot of money at Chagrin down in the tunnels, whom we are now sponsored by.
I see. Competition as usual, that green fellow. I tell you what, I can push it a little further. I have push and pull. Have my name signed onto your waiver makes things a little more difficult, but I will abstain from the fights. And that way, when you get up to the next level, I will be allowed to traverse higher in the respected denizens' homes.
You want to ride on our backs?
I would be adverse to say such things, but yeah. And
In exchange for?
a little pre-game buffer.
I don't think we need that. We just need a good sleep.
Fair enough. But if you are still interested in these goods anyway, we do have giant runes that could be inscribed upon your equipment to help. It is a curious thing, isn't it?
I gesture towards my no equipment. You said if you join our squad, it would make it harder for us. We're going to need to know exactly what you can do for us.
Well, obviously I'm the proprietor of many things. I do have my access to magical boons. As you have possibly noticed, there's a sweet air of arcanomancy here. I have learned to tap into it a few. That's why I wish to move further up in society. It gets me closer to the master's domain. More strength to draw upon.
Is there a sweet air of arcanomancy here?
Go ahead and roll me an Arcana.
I will also roll an Arcana because, I haven't checked lately.
You definitely get heavy wafts of magic that kind of stimulates the air in a way. Those who are more connected to the vine don't really notice it, but those who manipulate the arcane weave itself definitely take note that magic seems to be empowered in a way here. Even in the pillars, the runes, the statue in the center seems to pull heavy amounts of arcane energy here. Though it does leave to curiosity of even what the statue is doing itself. But you could tell that even from passing by the humongous ogre that you had originally seen, even magic has been flowing into him quite significantly, and occasionally, as you kind of take a little more notice, you do see a soft pulse of magic traveling down the curious horn embedded in his head. This place seems to be thriving for magic.
So you're in charge of the trial, but only on this floor.
Yes, I take those who sign the legality papers and, well, get the works set so the blue one will come down and bear witness. If you succeed in the trial, then you will be allowed to the upper floors. Of course, that will take a little bit of time after his judgment. He is a bit picky. Though I do guarantee, with your group of unique assets, as he kind of like drools at Cromsteel and Harbinger, might take a little more delight in introducing you to the next level.
Great.
It's safe to assume that there will be a trial to ascend each floor.
As for the tests for each floor, I am not sure, but this one will definitely test your constitution and combat ingenuity. Unfortunately, I'm not a well-versed warrior. As you can see, I am business proper.
Just turn around to the party. Does sound like a decent deal for us. Having someone here that could assist us. There's the way around.
We don't really lose anything by agreeing.
He
So,
said it would make the challenge slightly harder, considering they would count for the fact that he's there, but he wouldn't actually be helping.
but he would also make it easier by giving us things.
Yes. It's slightly harder, it's slightly easier. And then we have a friend, right?
I suppose.
Why not then?
Well, Jukes, it sounds like we have an agreement.
Delightful. I will very happily mark myself down in the ledger then.
And, well, this trial doesn't sound like it'll be a walk in the park, so can you show us the way to somewhere to rest?
Why, of course. As he kind of wipes the spit from his face as he's smiling wide, you can see the jowls drool occasionally. Slowly hefts from his station. Zack, Gron! You better keep watch. If I find anything missing or out of place, I will have you for lunch. He will make his heavy, hefting way around the counter and squeeze out.
Get out of the way, I'll have you for lunch.
It's a nestled little spot in the corner, but it is a respectable space. Do watch your coin. We will heft over to the corner and step on down. Very heavy. Do see quite a few of the hobgoblins kind of part the way for Duke, as his reputation precedes him. You can see
And
now,
its teeth. Look at them.
you can see now as he walks, though he says he's not a fighter. Looks like a great club, but made entirely of just melted gold and gemstones that have been stirred in.
He just has like a melted bar with just random gemstones in it as a weapon.
100%.
That's great.
Yeah.
Absolute.
The absolute unit. So Duke is gonna muster on down to the south here. Oh. And he gives you a little synopsis of the place. You know, this place originally belonged to the giants. And when they were being pushed out and harvested it away, many people didn't have respect or love for them. It was unfortunate, a place of great beauty and strength. Though Chavrancourt used it for the start of his operations. Got a chance to speak with many of those from the valley, and even learned quite an immense level of magic from an old red dragon that they had said once roamed the lands around here. Of course, within my own curiosity, I must say, it would be beneficial to learn more about that, but that's my own idle curiosity. As he barges into the inn, granted it's bare, but there are beds lining the wall, as well as at the center what seems to be multiple stacks of various kegs. You can see mostly particular to elven wines, and then whatever else seemed to be probably from the trade route sold coming up here that did not get drunk.
Hey, Leoris,
Yeah?
are you able to tell Nistri and Chintry that we are going to be here for a long time?
Oh, sure.
Sort of just update them on our situation.
Take a breath, send these to your message. There's like a whole city inside here. We could be here for a while. Do what you want. I'll send a message when we're done in here.
Got it. Rainbow Six going dark. They'll keep posted up and hidden as best as they can.
Rainbow Six.
Yeah, I thought you said Rainbow Six.
Yeah. So, as the Duke walks in, he happily lays down some coin for the coals. Only the best for my friends. Please, make yourselves comfortable. I can't imagine wherever you may have came from is not an easy trek. Especially since you're not one of the unseelie or those. As you can see, he looks around a little more respectful for a moment. Disgusting ones that smell of overperfumed bodies from the warm grasslands. Those prudent high elves make me choke.
Relatable.
Does anybody actually like the elves in this land?
Elves.
Right.
Some elves.
Yes, that's pretty much it.
Of course, I have had a few dealings here and there. I know that Cool has been bartering. We basically pay him to teach their whelps.
He's been dealing with those from Warrenthals.
Well, of course, he's been here for some time. It's not easy to keep such powerful beings at bay without at least a few honorifics.
Strange that this place was not on a map, but the elves of Warrenthals know exactly what's here.
You know, the goblins of the Flame Gets keep people away or murder them, so they presume the plateau cursed most of the time. Though a good portion of them who've travelled here of their own free will might be eager to learn things that won't be considered quite legal or a little more violent in education. At this point, you can see some of the kobolds quickly set out drinks for everyone, even those who can't drink or won't drink. They immediately rush over with what looks like a pretty much like a softer duvet that they had tucked away in the corner for a bed, and bring it over for Duke to have a seat.
I'll just say in Draconian, can I get a large tub of fresh water?
Quickly runs out the door. You can see he calls for one of the others that you saw advertising for this place. And quickly runs down with a couple of buckets of water, for water, I should say. Now, obviously the trial's not going to be easy. Probably you persist with something a little more magical in some nature, at least in retaliation. I know full well that occasionally it's been groups and others has been the arcane creature or elemental the master has called upon. Though, judging by the looks of you and where you might have come from, it might not be an issue for yourselves.
So the trial is just a battle in like an arena?
A battle, but also a test of wits of magic. Sometimes it would be pertinent to an element, or maybe abjuration. The Master does fancy quite a bit of the arcane. So, if you are looking for something particular that might concern you, the beasts that I know he's acquired would pertain to the section of that of a gorgon, a hydra, as well as what seems to be a few other denizens from a planar shift gone wrong.
So out of all the possibilities, what should we look out for?
Well, if you get the champion, I think the biggest concern that would bring you would definitely be the boss of the lower level here himself. That would be...
The one at the end of the hall.
yes.
Our old horn boy.
No, further towards the door.
Let's see with a keen eye.
It's quite large.
Davin Onyx, Master's personal pet. He too is a giant, though he does take main rulership of the ogres down here. Many of the hobgoblins immediately report to him as well. But not say general, as he does not leave this place, but more proprietor of maintaining the order that the master demands here. Doesn't mind a bit of chaos and some bloodshed, a few peeled people once in a while, but he's not about to tolerate this place being destroyed. He does enjoy coveting this little ruin of his. As for the champion, if you were to be fighting him, I think the worst off that you would have to deal with is the unfortunate benefactor that he has a weapon that likes to fight on its own, while occasionally phasing out of reality. Doesn't exactly sit in one spot. This is the most underhanded tactic I've seen in an admirable while. Apologies. I do like a devious mind. Though he does disappear for a time, I think the unfortunate benefactor of having to face down a animated greatsword is not the most appealing to just about anyone here.
Oh.
It's possible to banish it. If we are to face him.
To banish the great sword, or him, I should say.
Well, I assume we'd have to defeat him to succeed the trial if we are against him. But banishing the sword may make it much easier. Something to think of.
Most definitely.
I need to clean myself up. You can think on what you can do to help us.
I think I have a few devious things I could pull from my stash, now that I find we have a group that has agreed.
Did a lot of people turn you down before?
Of course, the tests are not easy, as you have heard. Of course, keep in mind the master does like to enchant things with surprises sometimes. People like to keep it tight to the chest and at the ready. No one here likes anyone riding coattails. But of course...
Which is why your contribution will be in equal part.
Indeed. At that point, Cold finally comes back with a bucket of water for you.
Yeah, I start cleaning my arm where I got hit by shit-covered weapons.
I'll see if I can't find out if there's any tests that the master has been performing, but such strings would be difficultly pulled, though I'll do my best. Out of all this, it pleases me to know that I have new friends to rely on. Anti-magic field, it would suppress it, so it would become inanimate for a time.
That's it.
Ah, yes, we have so many anti-magic fields. Anybody have like a
suppresses all magic in the area. Laurel stops working.
Yeah,
All you gotta do is go in for the AI. Reckoner.
if I get unlucky enough, I can create an anti-magic field,
Ooh.
centered on myself
Oh,
for an hour.
oh god.
Arm falls off.
Anti-magic field is level 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it is. It would be. Oh no, it's a first level spell.
Hey, I used to be able to do it at will with Iron Stride.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
cone that also needed to be charged.
Yeah, you had
Yeah.
to, like, charge it.
Yeah, just go for that. The docent. I'm Reckoner.
Yeah, sure. Does, Fuck Duke sell a docent?
No.
No.
Yeah.
I would imagine you're going to be staying here for some time. Do be wary. And you can always find me at my shop. If not, I'm asleep, literally next door. House just south of it.
Well, you know where to find us.
Oh, and if you hear a disturbance, push towards the back lane. It might be another worm.
What?
Yes, they have a tendency of coming up from the fissure. Good meat.
A worm like WORM or WYRM?
WURM.
Ooh, the third option.
3 for a loop there.
Tasty, though. He will gulp back his drink, gulp back the other two that he assumes were for crop steal and origin,
Yep.
and will take his big, heavily wobbling body out straight back to his shop. And for the time, you have what did we wish to do now at the resting drink? See, the barrels have been purposely put towards the center with all the food as well, just to make sure that there's no one sneaking in or stealing stuff. You do see there are a few beds with blood stains on them, but does seem clean enough.
The cleaning standards are at kobold level.
Pretty much. You do see the base colon. Do you want anything to eat?
Huh? Yeah, sure.
We'll immediately start collecting a few things from the barrels and start cooking them up on what looks like a half-barrel oven. But the meat, you're not sure exactly what it is.
Yeah, I'm not gonna eat anything made of meat from here.
The bread itself looks more like kind of hardtack, but still good, even though you do see occasional mealworms here and there. And the heartiest thing that doesn't bring too much to question is boiled mushrooms, as far as you can tell.
I thought he was gonna give you people meat, so that's good.
He still might have.
It's questionable meat. You could.
Yeah, I'll stick with the vegetarian option.
Well, Alex will still eat it. It's probably warm meat.
It's good meat. Could roll me in nature if you want, but it definitely has a very unique taste.
Yeah, sure.
Very ironically close to a very distinct sensation. It's not like any other kind of meat you had. More of a truffle-like flavor. Ironically, it's probably the best tasting thing here. And curiously enough, even though you're trying to figure out and place your finger on it, you can tell that they didn't really use any seasoning on it other than maybe mushrooms. Very odd. Like, it's still delicious and juicy, but it doesn't have like the same chew that a steak or beef would have, and not the same tenderness. A little stringy at some points, but curiously soft.
Meat's pretty good.
With that, the kobolds look to the rest. You need anything else? The boss says you can have anything you want.
Mm. I think we're alright for now.
You can see they dip back towards the center with the barrels and all the other food. Just kind of keep watch. The curious lizard that you had seen outside kind of goes meandering by, sniffs at the air a little bit. Seems to be getting fed the odd-looking meat and quite happily chows down. See one or two hobgoblins come in and kind of bed down, though curiously enough, you don't see any elves taking a rest here.
I'll ask about that. I assume they probably go to the next floor.
Oh yeah, there's plenty that go to the next floor. Lots of students. They occasionally come down here for the meat. It's really good worm meat.
Oh, is that what this is?
Yeah. The boss gives us that. We don't have a lot, but Puck gives us the barrels of worm meat for the tavern. Gets people in here. Costs usually the gold a plate, but boss was paying, so you get all you want.
It is very good.
Look kind of like the thing that passed here before. Whoa, good old warbly person.
Huh. So, how many floors are there, like in total?
In total? I mean, some people have told me there's like 25. Others, they, exaggerate. They're like, there's 1,000. I'm like, that's stupid. I think there's probably like, at most, 10. And then a 10th one, because it's a good rounded number, is like where the blue one stays. That's huge. It takes up like most of the plateau. And it's just filled with gold.
Even at 10, this is going to take forever.
Judging by the fact that the Great Blue One likes to observe the level 1 trials, I assume there can't be that many trials. I think you'd want to watch the more interesting ones.
Maybe this is the more interesting one. Maybe the rest of them are like, they ask you a couple of dumb questions, and if you get them right, you get to go on.
I feel like we'll find more information about this tower on the next floor. With the more explored residents are.
Do we get a different badge after we complete the trial? You know, to signify we can go up? Or is it just they recognize us, they let us by?
Oh yeah, it's a different badge.
Oh, okay.
Of course, the ones you wear is like slightly higher up.
Higher up than what?
Well, than us. We're not allowed to go
Oh.
beyond, even if we tested. We're not good enough. That's why a lot of hobgoblins stay down here. Been like one or two ogres who've been allowed through as well. The big guy with the horn, he's the blue one's favorite down here.
Yeah, I'd bet. He looks pretty dangerous.
Very brutal. Good showmanship. Likes to really drag out a fight. You ever see someone's
Yes,
leg
but-
break in like 30 places?
That's some impressive dexterity if he manages to do that.
Once or twice.
I mean, like, just scrunchy. Like a sausage roll that hasn't been cooked. Heard he once rolled someone's legs up right into their ass.
He sounds like a very charming person.
He's pretty cool.
So how many of those ogres stacked on top of ogres do you have down here?
Ogres stacked on ogres.
You didn't see that thing?
You can see he's like trying to think. He's like, I didn't see no ogres stacked on ogres thing.
I guess that thing didn't come in here then. Or out of here.
It may have been a specialty of that little goblin wizard we met.
Yeah. He used to come up here for a drink. He used to talk to like those who were like 2 floors up all the time. Took a few classes with some of the master's assistants. Of course, the master's assistant is always dressed like very, very fancy. Really nice silks, and master won't have him wear anything else.
Is attending these classes some kind of a privilege he earned, or is they just for anybody who wants them?
Oh, it's always the biggest privilege. The most honored privilege is learning from the master himself, like his assistants did.
Okay.
Master learned quite a magnificent spell from a long time ago. Something about meteors.
Hmm.
Of course, no one really knows who taught the master, and like, you know, Duke. He has more knowledge than most. Of course, then again, he likes to go and talk to those who got sent down to the prison down here for the food farm.
Are they farming the food, or are they the food?
They are the food. They're also the show. Yeah. People who've either like tried to betray the master or failed him immensely get sent down there. You can buy big old slabs of meat from them. It's really good.
Yeah, I guess an ogre would have a lot of meat on them.
Eh, be surprised. Ogre meat is really tasty. They got a few in cages there too if you want to go look at them, like throw darts at them and have fun.
No, I'm quite alright.
You sure? I mean, like, it's pretty fun. Like, always go for the eyes.
I am sure I am just fine.
So, you have the rest of the night, or are you going to just go straight for a long rest? Have the entire city can explore around, try and talk to a few, get some more information if you like.
If you're going, I will escort you.
I think it's really safe to go around.
Any talking you want to do now can be done after long rest.
Yeah. I don't really have anything in mind.
If you wanted to explore, I can escort you.
No, it's just open and watching. Sit out here and observe goblins for a while.
Alright.
And then probably head for a long rest.
Alright, roll me a perception.
Bad.
Yeah, you do see the hobgoblins mucking about, quite a few goblins as well. Some of the elves that seem to pause for a moment and talk to the hobgoblins, asking. Usually it would seem to be more arcane-natured questions, but aside from that, not too much seems to stick out to you. You could tell that a lot of the hobgoblins that stick to more of their martial prowess and kind of tactics in that way, closer to regiment. A few that are attemptedly trying to recruit some of the ogres that you've seen. But you did take note, curiously enough, most ogres you've seen usually just brutalize things and just have like javelins secondhand. One thing that you did take heart note of is that there are a few ogres that have, curiously enough, crossbolts. Like larger bolt launchers. So even though obviously not the smartest of denizens, even they have been taught some things that most should not be capable of. And considering how smart they appear to be, it does leave some concern if moving further up means the smarter they get, how much more dangerous this might become. That, unless there's anything somebody would like to do at night, you can go ahead and get a long rest.
Da 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 da
Hooray.
I do believe my disease was cured.
I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, actually, I retract my assertion.
I remember getting de-poisoned, but that was it.
Yeah, I de-poisoned you, but I don't know if I de-diseased you.
Pretty sure you didn't, because nobody actually knew it was disease. You know, you just got
No.
shot by the arrow.
Chagrin said, like,
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
disease that kills you.
insta kill poison,
Yeah,
guaranteed.
I think
kill.
I think he did cure you after that, because he pointed at the rotting corpse spot and was like, "Yeah, they die if anybody gets hit by that. They soak their crossbow bolts in it or something like that."
Yeah, some pretty fuck nasty shit.
Are we good then?
Are you sure?
But
All right. In the morning, Harbinger,
Yes.
your short sword is missing.
you had a short sword?
Remember you had a short sword?
Remember the short sword of certain death?
Oh, that thing. Okay.
And I didn't notice anyone in the night.
Nope.
That's a good thief. You don't even sleep.
Very good thief.
Oh, is this another classic? Things just go missing. Lucky.
Okay. Everybody check that you have all of your things, I guess.
I check my one thing.
I checked my one thing.
I check things.
I actually have a lot of things.
Each of you are missing. Well, go ahead and roll me 1d10 for each of you.
Oh, that's
got
pretty
I
bad.
don't
way
think we
more
rolled
than 10
2.0,
items.
The short sword was immediately noticed just because that's something very obvious. So, for those of you carrying money, Rylax, you're missing 2 gold. Crumbsteel, you're missing 8 gold. Elaine, you're missing 9.
Joke's on you, I don't have 8 gold.
That's why I said if you're carrying a wallet.
Okay.
And Liars, you're missing 5.
I lose 3 gold then.
Joke's on you. I'm not missing any gold, because I don't have any.
Wait, hold
I
on.
thought I
what's this?
gave you the gold.
Remember that I used it?
Not all of it.
Stone of Good Luck
Oh.
and Cloak
Okay.
of Protection.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, I attuned to my good luck stone.
Hey, you didn't.
Now we
You didn't
both
pay
have
for that cloak of protection. That was free.
No.
Yes, it was.
No.
Where's my sword?
And I seem to have misplaced a few coins. That is odd. I didn't notice anybody steal anything during the night.
Oh, yeah, it's gone. You can see the kobolds are asleep against the barrels.
Wild. I checked the barrels.
Hey, what are you doing?
We have been robbed.
Not our problem.
Okay. I'm going to quickly grab him.
Ah!
I will make it your problem.
Go ahead and roll your athletics as he's gonna try wiggle free. Oh god. Ah! Let me go! Let me go! Even with a nat 20, he can't get free. It's the strongest struggle you've ever felt from a kobold. With that from around the corner. Hey, what the fuck's going on?
We were robbed last night. And the
You
idea
standing
is-
outside our door the whole time?
No, you just woke me up.
Oh. Well, that's not helpful.
Man, Zircon would track this guy down so fast with all those inside checks.
Shame.
Sure.
You're supposed to be the guard.
Yeah, for the bar. Goblins are always trying to steal the fucking food. And we feed the goblins to him. You just see the lizard with a low growl snarling in your direction.
It might be easier to just ask the guards if anything like this has happened before.
I can use my truth spell a limited amount of times, but I'd rather not for going into a fighting arena.
Did anyone lose anything of worth?
I mean,
Sword.
yeah,
You had a sword.
it was a magic sword.
You had a magic sword this whole time. You've never used it.
Burn my axe. When struck by the sword, it stops one from healing.
Sounds familiar. Yeah, I'll cast I'll cast Detect Thoughts on myself,
Alright.
and just gonna look at the one at the door, and be like, "You sure you don't know anything about thievery going on around here?"
The one at the door, you said?
Yeah, I'll pry into his mind, do a
Alright.
deep dive. So he'll have to make a wisdom save
Alright.
against my 17 DC.
Can he make it? Let's find out. That's
Possible.
a -1. So, as you deep dive into this man's mind. What do you mean? Of course I didn't fucking see shit. Immediately, deep thoughts like, goblins are always stealing shit from here. Of course, then again, it could be. They wouldn't be stupid enough to try and steal from customers again.
Just like step out, look around.
Huh?
Can you point me in the direction of the goblins you mentioned? You said they like to steal stuff.
Oh yeah. Walks out to the edge of the lane. Points down the lane towards the stone shack at the upper level. Those guys there.
Not the one with the mega mind.
They like to sell a lot of the alchemical stuff, and they're pretty fucking rowdy. They like to be ballsy enough to steal stuff even from the ogres and shit.
Okay, the spell lasts a minute. Can I get there in time? It's 2 rounds. 3 rounds, 4 rounds. Okay, I'll still have like half the spell by the time I get there if I jog over.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna jog over briskly.
No, I'm gonna follow you.
Ah, here we go. Da, 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 da.
You just see a couple of the goblins kind of eyeballing you. Like, yeah. What do you want?
Hello. My friend seems to have misplaced his magical sword. Have you seen it around? I'm still detecting surface thoughts on each of them.
You can hear in the surface thoughts like, must be another one that didn't pay up on their fucking bets. You got a description of the sword?
Sword was 4 runes inscribed and veiled.
Give me a moment. So he goes over around the corner towards the entrance. Pops inside real quick. Hear him talk between back and forth to some of them. All of them. Does anyone speak Goblin?
Nope, but I'm trying to have a look at their stock.
You can see there's a whole mix of like stolen tinctures, potions, amulets, and like everything stashed up like it's a fucking money broker's house kind of thing for betting. AKA they're like the racketeers slash collection men. We got one that was sold to us earlier in the night.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna deep dive into the one that said that. Wisdom save 17.
He's just kind of like holds it up. It's very clearly your sword, Harbinger.
Oh, we found it.
What's to say? Definite failure.
Does he like picture the guy who sold it to him?
Yes, he pictures small red scales, little horns.
A kobold.
Yes.
What's the name of the one that sold this to you?
What was it? Hoosh? Yeah, it's Hoosh.
Does he happen to work at the inn?
I would imagine.
Hmm.
Any distinctive features to tell him apart?
You can tell that he's kind of like looking around. Could you fucking tell a kobold apart? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, actually, no. There's like smoothed over claws on the right hand.
Harbinger, if he does work for the inn, then we're friends of his boss, and he'll be able to tell us which one he is.
His boss played us.
No, I honestly believe that the Duke actually wants our help. How much did you give him for the sword?
Yeah, we gave him 600 for it.
Alright, we'll be back.
Alright.
Don't sell it.
Alright, I guess we'll mark that down as a possible repossession. You can see they start writing out the price tag for it, 1,000 gold.
Nice.
Right, let's talk to Duke. He can point out the one, and we can probably get the coin back from him. Fast traveling to do.
At this point, you do see in his air quote home, fucking asleep on what looks like a bed of silks that he has purposely piled up to as high as possible, to where he could just literally fall backwards onto them, is just asleep with his gut topping the mound like a cherry.
I'd knock on the door, but everything's made of stone and it would hurt my hand.
There is a wood dresser near the entrance.
My metal gauntlet onto the stone. Clang.
It's breakfast time already.
Perhaps.
As he slowly rolls off the pile of silks and stands up and looks at the rest of you. Oh, my friends. What brings you so early? I don't even smell the bacon.
A possible employee of yours has robbed us in our sleep.
This is a terrible incredulity.
The employee of yours is very sloppy and instantly sold the stolen weapon. And we were able to identify him as Hoosh. Could you point him out to us?
Of course. Quickly starts putting on some of his jewelry. Picks up his golden mace with him. The golden great club of doom. Hopefully he hasn't slipped out already. Stops for a moment, opens up the cabinet and takes out a bottle of wine. Cracks it on the door and just starts pouring it all over his face and just wipes away all the sleep.
Oh, okay.
To be fair, wine smells good. That's like a morning shower for him.
It's probably a very sticky shower later on.
Ah, refreshing. Let us go. He walks outside and throws the fucking bottle like clean across the way into the pillar.
Nice.
I can see no littering laws aren't in effect.
None of you are walking around in barefoot.
I can't.
You can't
that
take
bad.
off your boots.
It's true. Just don't be a fool. Watch where you put your foot.
Isn't the grass between your toes so nice? From crying because he has no toes.
His toes don't exist anymore.
Okay.
He takes off his like steel boot and there's like little steel toes.
At the knee joint.
I am incomplete.
As he walks in, he looks around at the inn and he starts grumbling to himself. Shit is already gone. You, Wix. Where did Hoosh go?
Said he had to skip.
Skip where?
Skip Plett's house. Like, gone.
Oh, bitch.
That guy, like, picked him up, like, a really angry chokehold. And then, like, he grabbed a bag and ran. After all of them left. I apologize for this issue. I will be sure to get your equipment back. Obviously, you'll be needing it for the future.
How much time do we have before we have to do whatever we're doing? This trial.
I have sent my missive to travel up the floors. It will approximately take 2 nights of rest. Of course, then I will get my reply back, so after the allotted time of waiting, probably another 5 days down here.
If he wasn't so small, I'd say we could probably catch him, considering we only left about 5 minutes ago.
Would be a
Worth a
tad.
try.
Well, you could go try and find him if you like. I will not stop you. Did find where he sold your piece.
Yes, it's over by that shack of the goblins.
Ugh. The knee breakers. They're going to gouge me for my purse again. Very well.
I supposedly sold it to them for 600, which seems about right, considering its value.
At least he learned to get the appropriate price for me. That much he got. Right. You best be quick if you're going to find him.
One big hand on his little shoulder.
Now, which way did he go?
like the slow handshake towards the eastern side, towards the fissure.
How well do you know him?
He started working here like 4 months ago.
You know the place better than me.
I'm gonna grab him.
Ah!
You're my guide.
Oh, please.
Just sprint off of him.
Oh dear, please be careful. Wakes, he's the cook. Oh, it's so hard to get useful cooks down here.
We'll try to bring him back alive.
Right. I'm gonna have this little guy guide me while I sprint on the fucking trail.
You're just holding him out like a...
Like a fucking compass.
Left, right.
Please don't hit the wall! Ah!
Just full sprint.
Over there.
We're near the pit, right?
Yes, boy. To the fissure.
He jumped in the hole?
You climb down the hole.
Oh. Oh.
Hey, what do I care about? Some fall damage.
Into the crack.
Can I see the bottom?
If it's enough full damage, then you do care.
That's fair.
Considering it's a new day and you don't have 300 feet, no.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, we can't see shit.
Hello? Say to one of these gargoyles.
Nothing. They're stuck in their stone position just waiting.
Oh, okay.
They are sentries.
What was this one's name?
Leoris, can
Rex.
you see down the hole?
I don't know, can I?
You cannot.
Is it deep?
Well, I can't see the bottom.
Does it also go up?
For the crack, it goes up for the fissure where it joins the wall again.
Okay, but there's not a hole that continues like up into the mountain.
A bit for a ways it does.
Oh.
So it's entirely black looking up there, so you're not entirely sure how far that reaches.
It's the elemental.
Yes.
Did you see a kobold come by here earlier?
Yes. Elemental guard just kind of keeps what you assume is staring at you.
Might have been carrying a huge bag of gold.
Yes, it was.
You cut out a bit there. What was that?
Yes, it was.
Which way did it go?
Down there.
What's in the pit?
Points at the fissure where it starts to get small.
Ah. Excellent. Okay. Okay.
Oh God! Please, careful with me.
Well, nowhere to go but down. But I'm not going down there. My echo is.
What are we gonna see? The kobold.
Throw the
Throws the
kobold.
Okay. I will.
Sir, your echo don't have dark vision.
No, it don't. Sadly. But the kobold does.
Oh god.
You wanna live? You better be my eye.
Please.
I'm gonna smack him into all of the walls.
Hey, why'd you stop talking? He's gonna be pale.
pay a wolf.
We gotta find some of those goggles of night vision someday.
I don't know, does anyone have a rope?
I would imagine.
If I cast the light cantrip on the end of the rope, I can lower it down like a little lantern.
Why don't you just put the light cantrip on like one of the hands of my echo?
Your echo is not tangible, right?
I mean, it can pick things up. It can interact with everything around it. It can be struck by weapons.
So
Just hold a rock then.
it is fungible.
It is fungible. My NFT.
Quick, take a
Copy
picture of
pastes
that.
your echo.
Oh.
Wait, no, Harbage is the NFT and he makes a copy of himself.
No.
No!
And he distributes it to others.
Value.
But the blockchain. Sure, if the echo can, like, fly, we'll just put the light on the echo.
Yeah.
If it's fungible.
Now, to take the kobold or not?
Please.
Please don't.
Okay. Send the echo down place.
Alright. The echo dives deep. As you are searching the crevasse, you can see that there are multiple claw marks, old pieces of broken equipment, what looks like skeletons from ogres and other creatures that have been kind of stuffed down here. Things that look like they had fallen when this fissure had originally started, or things that have probably been combating other creatures and got stuck in the crack here and died. Kobold panics, slaps you with the bag, kills your fucking echo, and runs further.
No! No! As he following his tiny little claw marks.
So, as you're doing that, go ahead and roll me survival as you're trying to discern
Baby.
the traversing.
Ah, but fuck!
Bruh.
So you keep heading deeper to where you assume there's more. You see a few claw marks. You've head way deeper than you thought it would be possible to reach at this expanse very quickly. Because you see these claw marks continuing, and then you start to take note that there's a few ogre bodies down here, along with what looks like busted weapons from when they tried to catch themselves, and realize that shit, you have been following the fall marks from a dead ogre body.
Go back up. Fuck. Fuck. God, take this little guy's fucking head off, I swear to God.
So, go ahead and roll me another survival to try and get back on path with what this little fucker is doing.
Fuck!
Alright, you feel like you're pretty much in the right path here as you're following the kobold's path. You can see a few broken bone chips here that look a little more fresh. It's a good amount of difficulty judging on what level he's at, but you're starting to see a few marks here and there that show well traveled. Go ahead and roll me one more to see if you can.
It's over.
Yeah.
You fucking kidding me.
You get to a section in the fissure where you can see that it's where the kobolds had come from, deeper within. As there are various signs of kobolds nesting here in homes. Others that look like they have carved either into the rock or tunnel face. Others that look like they have taken the bones or other pieces, their remainder here, from old weapons and made semi-bridges out of them in the fissure. It's especially as tight and far back as it gets, but Hoosh is fucking gone.
Bitch.
Meanwhile, everyone else is probably looking at Harbinger, and it's just like Wix is like, please, God, he's angry.
Hmm.
Shit.
Sure, he went all the way down. Maybe he just went like in like a little crevice over here. He's hiding.
He's hiding the whole.
He's right fucking there, 10 feet away.
I mean, maybe.
Try peeking over. Can hear the.
Could just jump the gap.
Misclick.
Ah! And that's the point where Elaine takes 15d6 fall.
That's good. I have fly.
But yeah, you know, there's been kobolds living in the fissure. Aside from that, not much to follow else on. Yeah, I figured you would make this joke. Read you like a book. Yep.
What are you, 12?
I wonder what came through.
What? Like it fell from the sky? With the force of a meteor?
They'd say you're studying meteors.
Going in the hole? Or...
Like this.
Can you put me down?
Get out of here.
Alright, don't have to tell me twice. Let's put a pack dirt on top.
Well, looks like we'll have to rely on Jukes to get your weapon back.
Hopefully that does not leave us at a disadvantage.
We'll have a little bit more to hold over us. I feel like we're much more important to him than he is to us.
I think from now on we should probably just sleep in the bubble. Considering that they managed to rob us while multiple of us weren't even sleeping.
To be a little cozy with all of us, but I don't mind.
So he said it'd take 2 days for his missive to reach the top, and then probably like 5 days for them to respond.
Yeah. 5 days total, back to front.
Ooh.
Alright, let's go with Peyton real quick.
Eat the pit, eat the pit, eat the pit. But there are veritable areas that you could visit. they do seem to have a few cruel but interesting games. Go visit the local torture den.
Oh, what now?
The stockades that have people being whipped and chopped up for the meat market.
Oh, interesting.
I'd rather not look at that.
Why not?
Probably won't be able to watch that without intervening. I don't want to.
You're gonna hit us with some kind of sanity check, you sick fuck.
I don't know what you mean.
Close my eyes. I do not see it.
Don't you remember the temple?
Oh,
The meat market. Where Nistri and I took a bath in people soup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that meat grows on trees to be harvested. The vegan way.
You're right.
Yes.
Mr. Stone Goat, what would happen to me if I were to arrive at another floor without having the badge for that floor?
You would be sent straight to the prison market. Having a good look down the hall.
Having a good look up the hole.
Alright.
Because in theory, I could probably fly to the next layer if this hole goes the whole way up. But then I might get attacked by gargoyles.
Also, theoretically, be sent to the meat market.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah,
I
don't
asked.
do that.
That's why I asked what would happen.
Would you like to?
Because we'll have to buy you whole package.
And that's where you get Elaine as one piece, but covered in butcher's twine.
Yeah. Wait.
We
no.
have to resurrect her out of her
Wait, yeah.
butchered flesh.
These guys have anything cool? An astral shard, perhaps?
So,
Yo, what's that? A purse?
yes. So you look across the way, you do see someone who's been watching the robes.
Yo, she's hot.
Yeah, it's gonna see
A woman? Wow.
Oh, woman.
Yes, a woman. A human woman.
Ooh.
She's wearing green. Don't trust her.
What?
More women. Look.
They're multiplying.
Well, those are the ones in the stockades.
Oh. Oh no.
I'd like some rum, please.
Hey.
Sure. Pulls out a
Where-
knife.
What do you mean, more women? I don't see more women. Wait, I do now.
Yeah, look. Right here.
That's a satyr.
What?
A horse.
This one?
Yeah,
I don't see horns.
not that one. That one.
Way up top.
Oh, I see the ones you're looking at.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Are
see
they
both.
all women? Sexist.
Oh, don't worry. There's the half-orc down here.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy that either.
Looks like some sort of fucking capitalist dictator.
Looks like this on the menu.
That point where the orc is like, no, no, not the reverse card, please.
Oh, and a lizard man.
He's back.
Lizard folk. Or is that a Dragon Ball?
Dragonborn.
Oh, the Dragonborn.
You want some dragon meat?
You put some of this in Dorsey?
Dragon sausage.
Yes.
Sausage.
In fucking season 1, we survived off dragon sausage for months.
That's true. But, with that, where is the Flickman?
Sell you the keys to my pump wagon.
Ooh, pump wagon, you say? So, Puck Dukes is there as he is finishing the deal. As you do arrive, as he's finishing the payout. There's your 1,000 cutthroat little greenlings. My friend, I've acquired your weapon as a good faith.
Appreciated.
And trust me, if I find who's alive, I will bind him and stick him in a barrel until you arrive.
Sounds good to me.
Now, it has been a good morning. I am going to go and acquire some tasty eats. And you see him make his way across.
Strangely enough, I kind of want to see this.
You want to see what he purchases?
I'm just curious.
I've been watching eat a human woman live.
I'm not live. I don't think he's gonna eat it right there and then. But then again, that smile. those chompers.
Those pristine chomps. So, following Duke across the way, or returning, you do see that he peruses today's selection quite thoroughly before making his decision. You can see that there is one human commoner who has been chopped up quite freshly recently, as the larger crowd of hobgoblins are there to get some good flank before all the other cuts are used up. Curiously enough, he requests the liver of the human, a kidney from an elf, and then the back flay skinned like bacon from the orc.
He wants the crackling.
He's got favorites.
And then for that, he looks carefully over some of the elves again, and he's like, make that 4 to go. As the ogre seems to understand, like he does this almost every day, and immediately cuts off the elves' ears, and then he just starts snacking on them like onion rings as he's heading towards the inn to have them cooked. Go ahead, roll me a sanity check.
Hell yeah. I love sanity checks. I love sanity checks.
Gee.
All right. What?
So I'm getting all these ones out of the way.
Yeah, fucking crap. Busting at the insanity. New fear, scared of ducks. Ah. Go ahead and roll me a D100.
He had to BRB real quick. I think his cat was being done.
Fuck! Alright. Well, we'll get to that in a moment when he returns. So, as you talk to these little green gang miscreants, what were you looking for in particular?
Oh, I said, do they have any astral shards as a joke? Because going by your pricing, it would cost about 5,000 gold.
You do see that they do have a few things of interest that are on display for sale and non-repo. You do see a few wands, couple staffs stuffed in the corner, bottles of potions and other items have been set up. You can see a small moonshine processing area that they have stuffed in the corner. It's very hot standing next to this little hut. You can see that even the goblins, as they kind of sweat, are just kind of used to it and just occasionally wipe their brow. Anything in particular you're looking for? We might be able to procure it for you.
I don't know. Anything to help with magic?
You can see they roll out a couple of wands. Clearly, some are more distinct. You can see one that has like almost like a mirror polished glass handle going up to a silvered tip, kind of a soft wand wood. Looks more like a softer birch. Other that looks like a thin cedar with the color that seems to shift to whoever kind of picks it up, changing to the color of their eyes. One that looks like it's fairly dusty, though has almost kind of this menacing aura to it. You can see a singular black skull that's been carved into the softer handle where the fingers would rest, as well as a curious eye that seems to spiral in design going all the way up to the tip of the wand.
Evil wand. Cool.
But yes, majority of these are wands of the War Mage. There's definitely the distinct +1 ones. One that looks like it has, been battered around, made of cedar and inlaid with orichalcum. One that is a willow wand set with amethyst at the top. You also see that there is the one that has kind of like the mirrorish tone to it with the glass. The higher one, that +2, which is the cedar wand, has the changing eye color to whoever is currently wielding it. Then, of course, there's the other curious wand that has the very deathly kind of aura to it.
I'll point to that one. Does that do anything cool?
Well, I mean, people said they've been able to see some pretty freaky shit with it sometimes. Drove the last owner insane. Wasn't able to keep his payments going, but yeah, was a pretty good, well-taught student from before he had to get repoed.
One that drives you insane. Surely that's cheap, right?
You can see that they all kind of like hush tone whisper to each other. Go ahead and roll the persuasion.
so low.
Yeah.
Still at 19.
You could say
Could
they
have been much better.
they debate it heavily for a minute. How's 800 sound to you? And no sellbacks.
Gonna be honest with you. 500 is the best I can do. I haven't been paid in a while.
You can tell they're like looking you up and down for a hot minute here.
Unless you're interested in this, I bring out a shield scroll.
Hear a few more mutterings. Go ahead and roll me another persuasion with that.
I don't even know what this one does. I just want it because it has a skull on it. And it drives you insane, apparently.
Alright. We'll take you up on that. 500 in that shield scroll. One's yours.
Better be worth it. I'll pass him the scroll. And 49 platinum.
So that is a +3 Wand of the War Mage. That
What the fuck?
does require attunement, and it'll allow you to see into, basically cast see invisibility.
Oh,
Like, always?
Once a day.
Okay, that's fucking cool as hell.
And
And I might go insane.
the small description details.
Yeah, and that.
what the fuck?
Catacombs of Fallen Doom.
My bad.
What?
Hello, Harbinger.
What do I do?
Time to be insane.
Yay!
Roll a D100.
Oh shit, yeah. I was really ready to roll another one.
It would be fucking hilarious.
It would. Yes.
Yes. Alrighty. Where did I put that? There. Alright. So. You have a fear of being bound as well as cleavers.
Interesting.
You fear cleavers?
I don't know. Come on. The only weapon we have to escape this butcher shop is this cleaver. Take it and go.
This might be the worst place to get there, where we're surrounded by goblins.
Yeah.
Surrounded by goblins, ogres that are
And you're
carving up people.
literally in a butcher shop at the moment.
Yeah, people's butcher shop. Also, I appreciate everyone, like, Puck knows to go. He's got that crackling unlocked. So he goes and gets his orc bacon made up with his, you know, nice human liver and elven kidney. That's super clean because it eats healthy all the time.
Not bad. Hey guys, I rolled a 1. Is that a cleaver you got in your pocket? Cause that?
Alright. And the lady, just let me know whenever you attune to that one.
No worries. Probably straight away.
You want a short rest so you can attune to it before we do big fight?
Oh, it's gonna be days before that, dude.
Oh, right.
I take the wand and I like flicker it around in my hand and like, this is cool.
Big Bad pulls out a cleaver in the fight. Ah! Immediately fear marked.
These guys have like Monopoly. Got nothing to do for like 5 days.
Well, I mean, there's plenty to do. It's just depending on what you're willing to do.
Alright, I kill all the kobolds.
Let's go down the hole and see if we can find this kobold bastard.
I don't think we can.
Try.
Yeah, was there any way to keep going?
Kobold climbed down. We can do it.
I mean, I can make us fly down.
Alright, guys. Excellent. We're on a kobold hunt because we have nothing better to do for the next few days.
Yeah, well, if we're going to go down into dangerous territories, maybe I should have changed this before.
Seems like an excellent use of our time.
And if not, maybe we can, you know, find some loot down there.
Here, there's some EXP-filled worms down there.
Delicious.
Actually, yeah, we're going straight into the wormhole.
Worms.
One spot where everyone's like, hey, watch out for that. We immediately jump in.
No, not butchered meat.
Alright. Butcher Petey.
Hey.
But then, is there anything else you'd like to check out from the Goblin Miscreants?
I only have 70 gold left, so I'm good.
Alright.
Yeah,
You
guys,
only have
19 silver.
That's right. Is everyone broke again?
broke.
Never mind. You guys got the loot trove.
Send like a follow-up message to Neestry. It's just like, maybe I didn't quite explain properly before, but like we could be in here for at least a week.
Oh, right. Should I start heading to Olabel then? I still have the pump wagon.
Just turn to the group. Since we're leaving the others outside for a while, should we tell them to just go ahead to Olbel? And we'll meet them there?
I don't see why not. Kind of unfair for us to assume that you're just going to sit out in the middle of the desert for more than a week.
Yeah, they shouldn't sit out there. They should either come up in here or take the horses and go to Ubil.
I think they should go to Urbel as well. It's quite dangerous out there. And quite an effort to get in here.
Since we've got nothing to do, we could go back down and just help them up.
Yes, but then they would have to participate in the trial with us. Otherwise,
That's a good point.
be confined to staying down here.
Right, never mind. Full bell it is.
Alright, another message. Yeah, just go ahead to Allbell. We'll meet you there.
Alright. I'll tell them to message you when I get there.
Sounds good. Oh shit, why did I send a third one? Look, Shintri has my amulet, so they should be good getting in.
Alright, that works. Be sure to be as safe as possible.
They said they'd go ahead and, send, get the clerics to send us a message once they're there. Come to think of it, my amulet did get turned into moonstone. So it might not be immediately recognizable. I'm sure it's fine.
You said the place you came from, people sound friendly there. I'm sure they'll be happy to let them in.
Yeah, it shouldn't be an issue.
Can you also just tell them ahead of time your amulet's now moonstone?
Look, I'm sure it'll be fine. No, maybe
The gang gets attacked by archers.
maybe later on I'll send a message ahead, just to let them know who to expect.
I guess that means we're walking.
The donut puncher.
No, say,
Or
we still have the pump wagon. Nistri said he'd leave it.
Oh, okay.
And kind of hard for.
Actually, with just the three of them, they can take a horse each.
True.
They're probably taking the cart, to be honest. No reason to leave it out in the desert, you know?
Hey, does anybody want to touch this weird big rock?
No.
Don't want to touch the giant dragon statue.
Considering it's animated while everything else is static, I'm inherently terrified of it.
Quick, I'll touch it. Give me more insanity rolls. Or
I
just,
believe in you.
roll from archers attacking me. Touching the statue.
I'll be right back while you guys figure out pile of worms or pile of statues.
Statue then worm.
That was easy.
Yeah, statue's right there.
It's so close.
Okay, does anyone want the silver pantaloons? Very comfortable.
Very comfortable.
I think Rylax does.
I guess. I mean,
Yeah,
I bought
Rylax
magical
deserves the
clothes that
very-
mend.
The very comfortable pantaloons.
They're very comfortable. You can't pass that up.
I suppose I can.
Bright pink, wearing silver pantaloons.
Very comfortable.
What is this? What is
Enormously
this
sweet.
studded leather armor that might be magical?
We
Might
well, at least somebody took that. It was the where is it? Studded leather of useful items.
Oh yeah, okay.
Who's got that?
I don't know, but I'll adjust it.
Clearly I do.
You don't wear light armor.
Definitely
Maybe I
wasn't
do.
me.
What's Liara wearing?
almost clothes.
Oh,
Yeah, none of us are wearing leather armor. Maybe we can sell that. Or give it to like Shintry.
sure.
I don't know if she can even use it. She's a wizard.
That's true.
What about the one drow that's with her?
Oh yeah, maybe he could.
Hey, do you want a
that
magical
was
item? He's
Gela?
like, yeah, sounds right. He got dragged around by a harpoon. He got side character status by surviving that.
Alright, Harbinger.
Oof.
Whoever loses boulder parchment shears has to touch the statue. Ready?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Geleth, because I think Nalgus and Nansen were the ones that stayed in Stratford.
Josh.
I don't think he's back.
He beat our beat.
Oh, I thought that was him breathing.
Oh, it is Geleth. Yeah. We've got Geleth with us.
They just want to feel anything.
Harbinger, roll a 1d3.
I roll 1,
What?
3.
What do you
Let's
mean?
go. Now.
Why do you
That's not-
randomly do?
Parchment shears. I lose, I touch the statue.
This is a terrible way to decide your fate.
Great way.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna touch the gith.
Don't do it. It's too animated. You're too
You touched
static.
the butt.
You'll never survive the blast.
No, bro.
Maybe you
We'll
could
touch
ask.
it together.
We
could
can
ask
all
someone
touch
what
it
happened.
together.
Oh yeah, that's an incredibly smart idea. Oh, wait.
What does this gun-shaped thing do? Maybe I should point it at myself. It's basically what you're doing. Okay, Josh.
Yes.
In the loot trove, under treasure non-magical, I'm selling everything there except the leather armor and the pantaloons. Can I get full price? So it's like 80% gems. I've calculated the price, but I'm just saying, will they give me full price? It would be 520 gold.
They would agree to that.
All right.
Cool.
Divided by 5 is another 104 gold each.
Congratulations on making a business transaction. You're now the treasurer.
Right. So it's the 104 gold plus this from earlier.
Okay.
We also get the 65 gold.
Yep.
I have way too bad of a headache to do this math in my head.
We already got the 65 gold earlier.
Yes, like 5 minutes ago.
Don't add it again.
Yeah, I'm just reminding you, just in case you didn't add it.
I don't think I actually added it to my sheet.
More ammo for my text blade.
Hell yeah.
Cling, cling,
In fact,
cling,
I
Now,
know
cling.
Josh,
Yeah.
I ask one of these kind goblin fellows what happens if somebody touches the dragon statue.
Well, that would be, how you get the great blue one to look upon you.
Is the Great Blue One's attention good or bad?
Well, it's like a throwdown challenge to Pain Orlando.
Oh,
We almost touched that.
Jesus Christ. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
I mean, if you want to touch it and try and take, like, that guy's, like, you know, cubby of power, yeah, be my guest, then I'm
Oh,
sure.
you touch it to challenge him.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
I'm tempted.
Yeah, me too. What are the benefits?
Well, you get the blue one's boon. As you can see, like the magnificence he's got there. But then also, usually like a gift, something from the blue one himself.
I see. I assume it's going to be a one-on-one and not all of us. So, Harbinger, do you think you could take him?
Size him up for a sec.
It's big size. It's a very big size.
He is sizable, it's true.
He is quite the sizable boy.
I could cheat.
Don't do that.
Hey, there are some like magical students here, but not at the moment from what it looks like.
It would be fun. And I can throw like 6 attacks all at once in one turn. And the whole
I think it
healing
will
constantly
take
thing is
more than
good.
that.
Yes, definitely.
Do you think you could survive several rounds of combat?
Potentially.
Okay. Do we have any buff spells to throw on Harbinger?
Harbinger, you know how to animate objects, right?
Okay, that is cheating.
I mean, I would summon my Zymon axe, which does a lot of damage.
I can Shield of Faith you.
Even if I did prepare it, I don't think greater invisibility would be very approachable.
What's the problem?
I mean, he could pose as like a spell sword, and you know, he's like, man, I'm really good at fighting, and also I just cast animate objects out of nowhere. It's 1v1.
Looks like your sandcastle has turned against you. What a shame.
The ogre's
I
just like,
think we
dang,
should-
he must be at sorcerer class levels. Look at that. He just used subtle spell, animate objects.
They said the grey and blue one will be watching, so I don't think you should challenge.
It's okay. I can always wall of thorns him hilariously. Hey, if I die, I die.
Okay, I cast Shield of Faith on Harbinger.
If he dies, he dies.
If I die, I die.
That is +2 to your AC.
Cool. Alright. I'll spend one of my 3 current hit die and summon my axe.
I'm sorry, but I no longer have haste.
This is gonna be either amazing or fucking awful. Okay. I touch it. Slam the hilt of my axe into the ground twice.
I sit on the edge. Watch.
Feel the effects of a scrying spell. Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, fuck. You know what? I will not resist it.
I should come back here later with my armor so they can see a peasant wielding a pitchfork.
How the fuck did this guy just touch
What the
my
fuck?
statue?
How did he get it here?
Hey, well, he is bloody. Now he must have fought his way.
Crazy.
Well, with that, Payne Orlando will stand up as you see a pulse enter into Harbinger's eyes. The very heavy as you see the armor jingle as he hefts up a great sword like if it were just a long sword for him. I think you're gonna be the smallest one today.
The last one of your lifetime.
We're gonna
Mom
throw
said it's my turn to play in the sandcastle.
No, it's mine. Oh, I paid for it.
Oh, oh, fair enough. Sorry, sir. I'll just...
Throw down initiative, fuckman.
Oh, no. Alright, yeah. Up easy.
Alright. Throw him down on Pain Orlando. Harbinger.
Okay. Let's go, I guess.
As soon as you get within 10 feet, he's gonna brace and slam the great sword.
Ah, fuck.
So, well, the 27 to hit you.
Sure does. Let's go.
Was this a mistake? We'll find
Yes.
out soon.
No, we already know it was.
Alright, so that's 26 slashing damage to you.
Yeah.
Oof.
As you immediately charge, you just quickly, just out of nowhere, the reflexes on this guy slams the fucking blade straight down across his shoulder. And you see a huge plate of your armor just, like, splinter open for a moment. No guard on you, little man.
Oh, that's fine. Oh, that's fine. Activate Simon's Rage. And let's go, baby. Bam, bam.
Oh!
Straight away with the crit.
Fuck him up.
I'm assuming the 24 hits.
Oh, fuck yeah. Please. If he had that much armor, that would just be malicious. That's not until the 3rd floor.
Wait a minute.
No.
Alrighty. That. Fucking. Pretty much bloodied on those first 2 strikes, because goddamn.
Oh, good. I'll action surge. And let's keep going. Oh, no.
She.
Oh no.
With that, just in a fucking fury of anger, like suddenly, just this surge of pain, like, slaps this next wave coming back at him again. The 15 will hit, because he is only wearing scale mail. What the fuck? You got good magics. Only I'm supposed to have good magics in the lane. Will that be all?
Yes, that is all.
Alright. He pulls back the sword for a wind up, but as he leans down, his horn's gonna flash brilliantly, and it saps straight into you, Harbinger. Go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw, DC 15.
Oh, fuck. Cool.
His greatest
Yes.
weakness. Nice.
Alright, you will not be feared, but you'll also only take half damage too, thankfully, of psychic.
Yeah.
So, 5 psychic damage, and then he's gonna slap at you with the great sword. So, just that, an 18. Yes, I'm double checking.
No, 19 is my AC.
I'm just double checking something real quick.
Yeah.
be it. Yep.
Oh, baby. Do it, boys. Yeah. And my echo will come out. Bam. And now. Bam. Bam. For love of fucking God.
Bruh.
I will unleash incarnation to hit just one more time.
Alright. Well, when...
Are you shitting me? How many ones am I gonna roll today?
You thought you got them out of the way, but you just charged them up.
Apparently. Holy
Uh,
shit.
What happens when you start with a 20?
Yeah.
Alright,
You
so
roll
he's...
it immediately.
He's going to riposte you then, since you missed.
Yep. That's fair.
He's teaching complicated maneuvers to this giant ogre.
Point to the horn. 21 to hit you.
That sure do.
So, 15 slashing at the base along with the superiority die. That turns it into a really nasty 23 total slashing damage.
Ow.
And then it goes back over to his turn because that was his reaction. Once again, roll me another DC Wisdom save as the horn. Yes, there is no recharge on it. It's constant.
Hiya.
Oof.
God damn it.
Alright, so you are now immediately feared, as well as you're taking 3d6.
These fucking ones. Scram.
Do you have Indomitable?
Oh, you're right. I do have Indomitable. You know what?
Now's the time to use it.
It sure is. I will try. Hiya. Yes!
There you go. You are not feared. Take half damage.
6 damage.
And now he's going to try and slap you with the greatsword. Thankfully misses that.
Oh, thank God.
Just another heavy as constantly you guys see these strange reverberations echoing out from the horn, but also just like bombarding Harbinger, clearly mostly messing with his mind and just throwing him off guard, but thankfully enough to keep him on strand with the greatsword slamming into the floor next to him.
I will immediately use my second wind as my bonus action. Hiya. Ignore the bonus damage amount. You see some of the vines growing through and reattaching my body back to itself. Come on, 3 more attacks. How many ones? What the fuck?
Well, the 21 hits. Roll a damage, and then he'll riposte you. Alright, so with that, on that hit, it looks like he's about to go down. You see his armor pulse, giving him a little rejuvenation. Leoris and anyone who else has Divine Magic, you realize he has been death warded with his armor.
Oh,
And then he's going to immediately riposte you, Harbinger.
okay.
19 to hit you.
That is my AC.
Another 17 slashing to you.
Yeah.
And then back to his turn. He's going to do another Fiendish Horn Blast. Go ahead and roll me.
Yes! Fuck you!
Well done.
You rolled what mattered most.
It did.
So you don't have fucking double negatives. So, oof. Half that. 7. And then his great sword attack on you again. 25 to hit you.
As he does that, I was going to say, I'm going to use my new thing.
Ooh.
Ah! Clunk. He hits the echo instead.
Very good, because that was 20 slashing. You can tell he was trying to go for more. Finally, back to you, Harbinger. You can see he's like standing there wobbly with the armor that's finally gone.
Oh, good. Bonus action. Summon another echo. And let's go, babe. 3 more attacks.
All right. How would you like to do this?
Oh, you know what? Echo will slide out and just cut through his hamstrings, and as he kneels straight down, just axe straight up into the underside of his head.
As he just slams forward with the extremely heavy mass. You hold his head there steadily until finally the full weight falls onto it and just slams down into the stone. And then Greatsword clatters to the side. Pain Orlando is
Slide
good.
back into me. My sandpit.
You can see the other ogres are.
I touched that you.
You touch the statue as well. Oh god.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Immediately has to throw down. Who's the king of the lane now, Harbinger? Alright. With that, you can see there's quite a few murmurs going on in the lane. You can see the woman across the way smiles before she starts to walk away for the moment.
It's a statue. Oh!
Oh, the human woman?
Yep.
Ah.
It's my spot now, right?
Don't go in this litter box.
Hey, these guys look like they're gonna listen to me.
They look at you like, both?
Ask them for a haunch of human.
They just call me boss.
Yeah.
I'll just point back at this guy.
Take it to the meat market.
Fuck yeah.
Yes, both.
Yes, boss.
Immediately start trundling on, or start picking them up and dragging them towards the his great sword and all his other stuff is still there. You can see a lot of the hobgoblins look pretty fucking surprised at the current development.
Fuck you. One night ago, already killed the big guy.
Well, I guess that puts having to fight the champion off our list. Unless they make us fight Harbinger now.
You have to fight Harbinger.
I stand next to Rylax and I point at the actual champion.
He's going all the way down the hallway, still going, still going.
I wonder if he saw
Oh.
that.
I thought he was just a door guard.
Actually, he
That-
did it.
That's the one he, that Puck said was the one to look out for with the flying sword.
Nice.
Well, I guess having to fight the champion is still back on the list then.
But yes, Harbinger, that is a +1 greatsword. It has been marked with multiple splotches of blood. The ribbons are all over the handle. Tell there's been repeated times that this dried and hardened cloth has been dipped in the blood of almost every single foe that it has slain. Here, very soft wisps, as if the very blade itself has taken the last breath of every person that's killed here.
So that was great sword that big guy just killed.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Well, you want this?
The great sword? No. prefer the shield.
You want to put it in the bag?
Do you prefer my silent weapon?
If you don't want it, I'm sure this would be
Sell
the
it to these goblins.
yeah. This would be the best place to sell it, as they it's probably like got a
Reputation.
reputation. What's the new word? Sentimental value.
Yeah, it's like the champion's blade.
What happened to the champion? Oh, we don't talk about
The old champion's blade.
Oh, champions for the people.
He tragically dropped it, leading to his defeat.
Anything else of this sword you can determine? Any other properties?
I mean, do you want me to actually identify it?
If you would.
Oh, now that Shintry's not here.
Finally,
You can do it.
I'm
Yay.
forced to do it.
Finally,
I'm useful. I'm useful.
I will identify the sword.
Not only is it a +1, but anyone who would have the boon of Shavern Cole would actually have this as the effect of an Eldritch Knight to be able to bamf this weapon to them anywhere within this plane.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, you have the boon now, right?
I think. I don't know.
Can you feel it? Do you feel boony?
I don't.
Try bamfing the sword.
Please don't
Right.
bamf your sword in public.
Put the sword against the wall. Walk there and try to bamf it.
Right into your hand.
And I must have the boon.
I wonder if the boon does anything else.
Shrug.
With that, you hear what sounds like heavy metal gears turning slowly.
Also me.
Here.
At the north end of the hall, you see the doors are starting to part, and the guard finally moves.
Oh, the woman is leaving to go tell everybody how sexy you are.
You see that she is taking stage front up on the announcement pedestal. As the doors part. Down the stairs, you see a very large, blue-scaled dragon.
Oh shit!
Oh, he's coming.
Staff in
Do be a dragon.
Staff in hand, great sword on his hip, and what looks like a curious selection of items on a pouch belt that he has, as well as what looks like a wand, the size to match him as a dragon, walking on hind legs, not on four. And slowly walks out to the announcement chamber as thaumaturgy rings over. The champion of the lane is dead. I see we have a newcomer. The trials will begin post-haste. I look forward to see what new blood and the eagerness of new positions have opened up to all of you. Try not to die before then, champion. And we'll leave off there.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have to wait 5
Alright.
days.
I should have summoned sword.
Who would have known that our fuckery was exactly what we needed to do?
I can't
Great job,
believe that
Harbinger.
worked.
You
Good
moved the
job.
timetable up.
I got us VIP passes.
And a target on your
Excellent
head.
work, Harbinger.
Yeah, we got like a giant sniper target on. Well, at least your head.
Oh,
Our
no,
head
we
was
got
on a
plenty of
substitution.
You successfully speedran the session.
I did.
It's fine, I needed to leave soon anyway.
Look, you mentioned that I could kill someone without consequence, except for maybe dying, and I was like, I'm down.
We'll see.
You were just like, I'm here for it.
We'll see what happens, baby.
I was gonna have to learn what more of this boom do.
I can't believe he walks on his hind legs. It's the most cursed thing.
I know. What the hell?
Does he have pants as well?
Nope. We do.
He don't.
Yet.
Yeah, what an animal.
Don't say that to his face.
There's some
Yeah, it's a-
pants, you damn animal.
He's gonna
Can't wait to
lightning
do
back
this
you.
trial in 2 weeks? Wait,
It would
maybe
be-
more?
Yeah, I think it would be more.
What?
Well, 1 week from today is Christmas Day.
Yeah, I doubt everybody is available on Christmas Day.
1 week from that is New Year's Day.
It just gives me time to finally flush out fucking Shoving Coals City.
That's why I said 2 maybe.
Yeah, when everyone's eating dinner with their families and getting presents, Josh, I want you to be making maps.
Yeah, no
Just
family time.
swear to God if I catch you.
There's a map here. I'll make it bigger. Fuck you.
Oh yeah, it's a good map.
Makes this map slightly
Please don't make it bigger.
I'll make it bigger and more
Please make a
pocket.
different map.
Bigger.
The RAM,
That's to your
it's
map.
insufficient.
I don't want...
It's
we-
RAM.
I don't like this guy.
What? What guy? Oh,
The dragon. He just reminds me of someone.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't like it.
Might be a reason
Just
for
by
that.
association.
Okay.
Might be
I
a
did it,
strong
dude.
reason for that.
It better not be.
Bellerin.
It better not be.
Might be a strong reason for that, Miller.
Who's this
Did you
blue
teach him to
bastard?
walk on his hind legs?
Oh. You
It's
made a
oh my
bastard.
God.
I used to be unicorn as
It's
well.
White Eyes Blue Dragon.
If I
Guess
grow a
what?
horn, I'm gonna headbutt it off my fucking face, I swear to God.
I guess you're just gonna have to wait and find out.
Ah.
Majestic horn!
I mean,
If-
if it
if
just grows
Rylax
somewhere where I've
wins
already
the-
got spikes, then it's fine.
If Rylax is the champion, is her horn made out of goo?
Yes.
No, it's just a solid horn that is
That's
in the
fucked up.
goo.
Floats
That's-
around in her like a...
Relax can no longer fit through
Oh no.
like anything. Yeah, the
can't
horn
remember.
can't fit. Can't go in.
1 inch gaps officially off limit. It's only 6 inch gaps now.
No.
Feeble and cursed.
Plus 12 to hit.
That's pretty good.
I did it, guys. I'm king of the sand pit.
Good job, buddy. Aren't
No,
you
no.
glad I egged you on?
Hey,
It
you
better
probably
be
could've done it
related.
too.
I think I
It'll make
could
me
have.
feel better if we have to kill him.
Yes,
I'll be so much happier about it.
You would have got that one crit off on him, and then you just put all of it into your
Oh yeah,
smite,
you would have
would've died.
exploded.
Yeah, and then afterwards, you would have not rolled like 4 ones.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
We got Shavern Cool and the mystery woman up top.
Yeah, mystery woman who smiled at me. Yeah,
Also-
don't trust her. She's wearing green.
I got them several sessions ago. Nothing's hit me yet. My armor claymores.
Oh.
When stuff
nice.
hits me, I'm gonna explode on it.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Did
I
she
forgot
have
you
a
even bought
ring,
that.
Josh?
Wasn't it your
Yeah.
shield?
What's up?
Yeah, it's on my shield.
Did the woman have a black ring?
With that, go ahead and roll me a previous perception real quick.
Oh my god.
She has a necklace.
She does remind me of the Shadow Enchantress.
The who?
The shadow.
The lady that told us to do this, to go get her
Yeah,
brother
the
off
Shadman Enchantress.
You son of a bitch.
the shitter.
The
Why?
Shad
What's
Man.
wrong?
Not you, Josh.
What? What?
You
What?
know what?
What?
Did talking to Josh and giving him all those ideas come back to bite you?
Yeah, just give Josh no ideas. Can never get bitten.
Hey,
No,
he's
it's more like if I'm right, it shouldn't have taken me this long to figure it out.
Well,
Hey, speaking of giving Josh ideas, I heard him say something about a Hydra in the competition, and I feel really
Yeah.
scared about that one because I gave him a book of Hydras,
ah,
and those things were fucked. I tell you, they were fucked. Like
Okay.
I wouldn't want to fight any of them.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna make a phone call.
I'm gonna go. Goodbye.
Goodbye, buddy. I'm also gonna go. I'm gonna go watch Witcher, actually.
Nice.
Yeah. My sandpit. You'll stay out of it.
No.
Sure thing, buddy. See ya.
Yeah, whatever you want.
See you guys.
Have a
Thanks
good
for the
one.
session, Josh.
You'll look forward to the next time.
Wait, XP.
Yeah, 460.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
it's
I
already
didn't
been
see it.
done.
Idiot.
Jeez.
Blue, yeah.
Dust.
Suka.
You're welcome, Rozzy.
Does she also have a ring?
Yeah.
I'm still not gonna feel bad about it.
What's wrong?
He deserves it.
Josh being so antagonizing today. Wow.
Fell in love with the first one and then fucking want to murder fuck the other one?
Well, that's not where I was going, but
That's where you ended up at.
Ooh. The place I'm going to this weekend is adjacent to the Megalong Street.
Hey.